Hello, I'm Lynn Fishman. I'm coming to you from the 39th Annual International Conference here in Montreal, Quebec, bringing you the latest in health, wellness, personal transformation, and spirituality. I'm so pleased to have Janine Mealhow Ambrose here with us. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Janine has a PhD in philosophy and therapeutic counseling. She also is an author of Achieving Self-Mastery, something we're all interested in. Janine also hosts a weekly TV show where she interviews international guests on a variety of topics that deal with complementary medicine. What a woman you are, of many talents.
It's fun.
So let me ask you, Janine, how would you define self-mastery?
Self-mastery is a journey of moving through anything that inhibits having joy and peace and happiness in life. And most of that it can come from childhood things that happen, or it can come from our thoughts or words. And so it's important that we really be conscious of our thoughts and words because they create our reality.
Yes, that's a big one.
Well, I'd like to briefly explain that. The universe is not solid because it's made up of atoms. So everything is always moving. And it goes out whether we're conscious of it or not. So everything we say is like typing in a computer, and it goes out and it comes back to us. So if we say, I am perfect, I'm full of love, I'm all these wonderful things, the universe brings that back to us. And I hear so many people go, oh my goodness, that's killing me. And I'll look at them and I'll say, do you really want to say that?
Right. So even it's not what you're thinking, but if you're thinking one way, but you're saying a word like you said, oh, that's killing me, or whatever, that's an energy.
Oh, absolutely. Sound carries thought. So sound is a conduit to carry our thoughts out to the universe. So it's like a double whammy. It's one thing when you think it, but when you add sound with it, you really send it out there quickly.
Wow. So that's a real focus for the power of the word. Okay, I'll remember that. I don't. You speak about emotional trauma and stress and how that impacts our body. Emotions impact our body. How does that work?
Well, I've done some conferences with some other doctors that are like neurologists, and they have done research where emotional trauma can actually create lesions in the brain. And when it creates a lesion in the brain, it goes down and it creates illness in the body. So that's why alternative therapies are so powerful right now, because you can go in and you can do therapies, whether it be regression therapy, Reiki, or just counseling, and take the people back to the point of the emotional trauma. And once you release that, the brain heals and the body heals.
Oh, that's big.
Very powerful.
So what would you say to someone who is perhaps going through a stressful or emotionally, impactful time in their lives right now? What do they do if they're looking to help themselves?
If they want to do it themselves, the first thing I would say is start meditating. Start affirming, do affirmations, affirming what they really want in their life, and affirm and picture their way out of their situation. That's a good way to put it. When you start to picture your life the way you want it, you start to create it that way.
Okay. So you're talking about visualization?
Yes. The mind. Our mind is very powerful.
The mind is very powerful. And you also talk about the power of 10. Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, it's not Linda Goodman, what was her name? Anyway, I read about it in another book too, but it's in my book where the power of 10, when the universe isn't solid and everything's always moving, when you give something, it comes back multiplied. Whether you give your time, whether you give money, whatever it is you give will come back to you. So if you stop giving and you think lack, the universe will take from you anyway.
Because that's the message you're putting out.
Well, no, it's how the universe works. It is not solid. So when you stop something, you create a solidness, and the universe will take. So it will take from your health. You'll have problems with your car. So the best thing I can say is, whatever spiritual organization or whomever you're working with as a counselor, when you tithe to them the power of 10 on a consistent basis, it works every time. It comes back multiplied. It just keeps flowing in.
Wonderful. I'm a big believer in that.
Yeah.
Well, it's been so wonderful to speak with you. Yes, we're coming to you from the 39th Annual International Conference here in Montreal. Bye for now.
Thanks.